Hey, I'm Eric, and I'm listening to 100 albums in 100 days. For all the details on what I'm doing and why, check out the video pinned to my profile. Today, I listened to the 1983 album, The Amazing Kamikaze Effect, from the band Slade. Now, this album was released in early of 83 under this title to basically the entire world but the US. And then later in 83, when Quiet Riot had success with Come On Feel the Noise, which is a Slade cover, CBS Records picked Slade up and repackaged this album as Keep Your Hands Off My Power Supply. And when they did that, they took off two songs that were originally on there and added two new ones. So I listened to the original package and the new package. So the band had two songs off of this album that had top 40 success here in the U.S. And both of them are they're up in my favorites of 80s songs. Run Run Away, which is literally one of my top 5 80s songs. And then a power ballad called My Oh My, which, as power ballads go, it is one of the best of the 80s. But that's all I heard of the band. And if you've ever seen the video, which got heavy rotation on MTV and other, local satellite video shows, if you've ever seen that video, they're kind of goofy. They don't seem like they take themselves very seriously. And so I never really gave the band much thought because that's the video I saw of them, and that's why I saw them. And they were just go watch the video if you haven't seen it. They act like a bunch of goofballs. So I didn't really take it very seriously. So that's all I heard of them until I heard this. And this album is really good. It is just a straight rock and roll album. These guys have attitude, they have swagger, they can rock, they can boogie, they can pull out ballads. They are not at all the band that I've had in my mind for 40 years since I first saw and heard that song. Besides those two songs, a couple of my other favorite ones on the album are Ready to Explode, High and Dry, and the album opener is Slam the Hammer Down. I love it when a band picks out the perfect song to open an album with, and that is the perfect song to open an album with. It just opens up and it gets in your face, and it never slows down the entire song. It's a great song. It was hard to find a song on here that I didn't like. Some of their harmonies and vocals remind me of Queen. These guys are way more talented than I ever gave them credit for. I think I read somewhere this album was their 11th album. So there were 10 other albums before they actually had any kind of mainstream success in the U.S. I don't know about the UK or Europe or anything else, but yeah, I think this was their 11th album, and I can't find anything wrong with it. It's just a great rock album. If you've heard it and you agree with me, or maybe you don't agree with me, leave me a comment. Let me know. If you haven't heard it, and all you've heard are those two songs from the 80s, it's worth a listen. It really is. I would have loved to have seen these guys in concert in this time period. I just love their attitude and their swagger, and they're a great rock band. And I did not ever think of them that way until I listened to this album. So do yourself a favor, if you haven't, listen to the album and then let me know what you think. We are at the end of the 3rd week. So tomorrow is day 22. We got a lot of albums left.